Good to see you.
Alright there, Revenants, welcome back to Code Vein and the Road to 100, where today we are going to be, still running Prometheus here, as you can see.
Nothing is more important than preparedness.
And that's right, you. And so today we are going to see how Prometheus works as a defender with the pipe ability here at slash 100, pierce 100. There's not really a whole lot of crush enemies here in the Cathedral. Most of it is slash and pierce, so we will be completely fine. There's a few crush attacks from like the shield bearers and different guys, but you'll notice here that with what we have going for, with the blood veil here as our main attack weapon, and the healing of our friend, we will pretty much have infinite healing, infinite defense, infinite all kinds of things, and we will always have a ton of ichor and a ton of health that we can give away. So as we run up on these enemies here, you can see that we have an incredible amount of balance damage because of the Hound's Veil, but also we have a really good amount of sustain and damage reduction and actual damage that we can put out and everything, because of Reaper being as good as Reaper is. Okay, and so as we get through here, you'll notice that Io won't really need to heal too much, because she will be constantly healed up by us, and because we are going to be doing a lot of balance damage to these enemies, they won't actually get a chance to do much of anything here. Okay, and we're not really going to use anything else other than our blood veil here, and you can see that we have plenty of damage, and we may not even need to go for the Devour version, and we could probably just go for the fortified version, because we are constantly going to need more damage rather than ichor, because as you can see, we're already at our max ichor here along the way, and there's really no need to do more than to recover more ichor than we are going to recover as naturally. Now, if you want, you can get rid of Avarice. We don't really need that amount of ichor recovery, but it is really helpful. You'll see as we go along that, we will need a significant amount of ichor in order to keep all of our gifts running at all times, and we will absolutely not be stopping at missiles and everything, because we will be just going for, I have to pick this up first. We will be going for just these kinds of attacks on these fellas here, and Io will be completely fine because she's Io, but also because she's got the rock solid defense built into her life bar because of us, and we have double heals, and so anytime that she's going to get hit or damaged or killed or anything, we will be able to bring her back unless we get staggered into oblivion. And you can see that this is really good if you are in the fray of the fight and your partner is doing like damage from a distance or something. But the problem with this is if you play this in multiplayer or co-op or something, there may not be enough enemies for you to actually get the attacks off that you need to from your blood veil. Otherwise, you'll be standing around, trying to do charge attacks and stuff, and you may not actually get the amount of charge attacks in order to recover the appropriate amount of ichor and such. So it does become a bit of a problem here. Now, this is one of the enemies with crush damage that we have to watch for. That right there, that is one of those attacks. Okay. And we can just go ahead and block all of this nonsense, and let's go ahead and get some charge attacks in there for some little bit of extra health. And you can see we've only lost 500 health so far, so no harm, no foul. But you can definitely see that we are dropping low on our ichor here, so if we go back to the Devour version, that will help us significantly here. as we get into this next spot here. And yep, there's the other one. Okay, let's see. Is anybody coming after me? Doesn't look like it. Okay. And okay. She's going after me. Alright. And that's fine. Okay, and let's go for some health here. Good. Okay, Io is in need of some health over there, it looks like. Ouch. I am in need of some health over here, it looks like. Okay. Good. And Io is healing herself there. That's good. Let's give her some health so she can just continue fighting. And you can see how that goes. We're pretty much never in danger. Io did heal herself there a couple times, which is not so great. You definitely don't want her healing herself because you want to extend her range of healing and usefulness as far as possible. Oh, okay. I just want to... There we go. Now, it sounded like she got engaged there with one of the other enemies up top. It sounded like, but maybe not. Okay. Okay, and one more. Now Io is healing herself yet again there, which is not so great, but that's okay. We'll just take it for what it is, and we'll top her up here just a little bit. So you can see that we have like a ton of healing, a ton of sustain, and some pretty average to decent damage as we go along here, just because of the fact that, you know, we are using our Blood Veil completely incessantly here. It does have quite a bit of longevity built into it just because of the abilities that we've got going here. Now this is one of the enemies that is difficult, right? Because it is a crush enemy. So this is one of the problems here that we have to deal with. But that's okay. And we can just go for a couple of parries if we need to in order to mitigate some of that damage, and as well as getting that health back, which is ever so important for us. And you can see that we're right back up on top with our Ichor, so we can go for some damage here if we want to. And as you can see, we do take a little bit of damage there, but that's fine. And okay, that is completely acceptable. And because we have a crush pipe, she staggers pretty much every time we hit her because of the crush damage. Okay, very nice. And as you can see, like, it really doesn't even matter that we took a couple hits here and there, because Slash and Pierce is our main defense. Now, if we wanted to, we could give up a little bit of our damage and go for something like Iron Will and get back 25% more of our health because of the less damage that we will be taking. But overall, here's another missile, and we'll just continue trucking right along here. And it's really, really nice that you're always pretty much topped up to full Ichor at all points in time. There's really never a time that you are having a problem. And you can go for the lightning version as well in order to get that weakness bonus. So that's something, if you are looking for a little bit extra damage, you can definitely go for that. Okay, we shall proceed by waiting for our gifts here. Okay, and you can see that when you start using all of your gifts immediately, things get hairy real quick on the Ichor front here. Okay, let's get this going, and let's just go ahead and block here in front of her, so she you know, has to stand there for a second, so we can get the kill. So that was, you know, another 10% of our health back. Let's go ahead and top Io up just because we can. And it makes for a great way to keep her away from the heal button, so she continues to dish out the damage as she goes along. Okay. Good. And let's go for more attacks there. And let's just go ahead and block these because we can. And EO again with the damage dealing there is excellent. So as you can see, it's a pretty defensive strategy, but with the offense that's built in mind here, it's very, 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 very potent for what we have to go up against. And because it is most of the time like a 1-on-1 or a 2-on-1 or something like that, most of the time we have the upper hand because our Blood Veil is fast enough to deal with single target enemies. It becomes a problem when we have multiple enemies that we need to deal with, and you know, we'll have to worry about those at a later time. So let's get this going so we can get prepped and ready for everything else that we're going to come up against here with the Ichor requirements that we have. And as you can see, if we do have Avarice plus our Devour Chrome on our Blood Veil, we are more than capable of keeping up the Ichor juggernaut that is built into this build. And we're able to completely and utterly keep all the Ichor requirements up and ready. So 34-33 is pretty good as we go along here. No real problems with damage. It's kind of average damage overall, and but we do have obviously some you know, problems with just our stamina bar and everything. So we could go for stamina stimulant and some other things in the passives there, but with what we have, it sure makes for a great potent setup to develop into a healing build as well as a damage dealing build. So kind of interesting how the two of these kind of go hand in hand here. Okay, and this guy, will let him come up so we can throw him off the edge completely, and so that way we don't have to worry about him at all. Now, as you can see, EO has healed herself, I think, 3 or 4 times already, and that's not really a problem. It's pretty good, but if you can ideally get her all the way through the Cathedral without stopping at a missile, this build is definitely one of those that you can do that way. And let's see what this guy's going to do. And the nice thing is because it is a Hound's Veil, a lot of times you can throw these guys up and over the railings, which is pretty hilarious, but it is definitely possible. Now this is one of those places here where you have to hit this guy and then turn around and get ready for this guy. And so we are more than ready here to meet him and take him out. So no problem there. Good. Mobility enhancer, that's always a good thing to have. Probably don't need more, but that's okay. So as you can see, we're able to pretty much crunch our way through the Cathedral here, no problems at all with what we are going up against. And we'll just go ahead and block a couple of these. And that's really good stuff here, that we have such a devastating attack set here for these fine enemies, because they are pretty difficult a lot of times, but because of what we're running here, literally couldn't even stand up to the challenge, pun intended there. So whoops. Okay, and we got hit, so, and we take a little bit of damage, but that's okay, because then we'll just push her right to the ground. We'll let EO figure out what she's doing there. Okay. And we'll go for another attack string and bring her down. So very good. And I know you might be thinking in your mind that, well, that's an endgame Blood Veil. Of course it's going to be a little overpowered here early in the game, and the reality is that, yeah, that's kind of one of the points, one of the cases here, but the reality is that this Blood Veil is not meant to be an attack Blood Veil. It is meant to be simply a defensive Blood Veil, but the cool thing is that you can definitely use it as an offensive Blood Veil as well as defensive, both at the same time, as well as an Ichor generator, and so it's got a little bit of a unique flavor to it, just because of that reasoning there. Okay, let's top EO up. Good. And as you can see, that only cost us like 140 HP, so we'll get that back in no problem as soon as we attack another enemy, whether we kill them or get a backstab or a parry or otherwise. And so here, let's go for a charge booster so we can take these guys down quickly, because this is kind of rough here, that we have multiple enemies that we need to go for immediately. And again, our blood veil is good for pierce and slash, so we are able to remove these guys exceptionally quick, no problems at all. Okay, now once we get to the next door, we're gonna call it there, and then we'll do the berserker and the next yeah, that's right, EO, look at that. We'll do the next set in the next setup. Okay. Okay, and there you go. Our first actual death there. And let's see. Let's get this going. EO is in some pretty serious trouble there. So we need to get this going. And then we'll give her some health. And then we will go for, oh, monkey brain if we can. There we go. And monkey brain is easy for us to kill because they fall down so easy. No problems there. Now EO should be ready to destroy that monkey now. Oh. Okay. And you can see here that we are able to keep her alive and going and active here, just because of the fact that we do have the healing ability here, as well as you know, the damage to go along with it. And we'll top EO up here as well, since she pretty much almost died there. It's a good thing for us to go about keeping her topped up and alive. And as you can see, we can just continue recovering all of our health. And we weren't blocking when that monkey group came up, and that reason is because I thought we were going to get inhibited, which then takes out everything that we have available to us, and then you pretty much end up dying by chip damage anyways. So a little bit of an oopsie there in the performance of what the build can do, but no problem in any kind of way here. Okay, so now we do need a guard booster at the same time because we are facing a crush enemy, and so if we do end up blocking, we are going to take damage. And so the best thing is to just continue to parry here, so that way we can you know, continue to actually get as much damage as possible without taking any kind of hits, because that sunset hammer will do a boatload of damage. And as you saw from the butterflies parking deck episode, we have a 94 defense on crush right now on our pipe, and so we do have really good defense against pretty much everything, including crush, but not 100% on crush, so that is a real problem. Now this is where things get a little weird always with these kinds of enemies here on ledges, right? And so we definitely want to keep them in mind here, and we'll go for a launch just because we have it active and available, and that is a huge amount of damage that we can get rid of these enemies without any kind of hesitation here, which is very good. Okay, and we'll go for a charge booster, we'll go for time crunch, and we will go for our whoop. Okay, and let's go. Oh, okay, EO, thanks. Let's go for those charge attacks here. And the cool thing is about their shield, it doesn't matter for our blood veil, because the blood veil just goes right through it. No problem. Okay. And there we go. down, easy peasy Japanesey. So this entire set here is really good for everything that we are going to be going up against on this half of the cathedral here. The second half is a little bit the same, but a little bit different in a way, because you have multiple enemies and you have a lot of multiple instances and everything. So we'll be right here next time. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you for the Berserker and second invasion next time. It's going to be painful all around, so we'll see you guys then, and you guys take care. Bye.